Grace Talks, it is Thursday. Year of our Lord 2021. What a great day. Good day to be alive and good day to be with you on Grace Talks. A lot going on out there in the world. A lot of things, actually. And I know it's been a long time and we shouldn't have left you. But we're back now, summertime, 4th of July. And we're going to catch up. There's going to be some things that we do today. This is the first podcast of this kind. I actually want to do something like this maybe weekly, but I want to do something today that's a little bit different. I got a friend of mine who's going to join us, and he's probably Grace Talk's biggest fan. He's probably our biggest fan and biggest supporter. His name is Levi Reese. Hey, Levi.
Hey. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being man. Thanks for being the biggest supporter in Grace Talk's history. How's that feel?
It feels great. It's been a long time coming. I tune in every week or every week. Every time you put one out. A lot of the time you leave me hanging, so the anticipation is a little bit higher than normal today. So when I got the call, I couldn't miss it. I know we had some scheduling issues, but we made it happen.
Well, you actually have gotten the call a long time ago, and you have missed it a lot of times. Actually, this was supposed to be done months ago. Actually,
that is true. My publicist thought we had to go over a few things before I actually jumped on, so I could.
And I never sent that contract that I was supposed to send too. So my bad about that. That's probably my mistake.
Okay. Well, huge fan. Love what you do. So happy to be here.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on. So I asked Levi because Levi's always sending me these stories and these like crazy things that I had never heard of before. And he is really good at finding this stuff. And so I asked him to come on and I was like, how about you send me a bunch of stories and things that you can find, and then we just discuss them. We just do it Grace Talks way, and to see what I think when I first hear these stories. So a lot of this stuff I've never heard in my life, so we're going to go through them. So Levi, what is the first thing that you're finding on Cyber World, on the intronets, that is driving you crazy?
Well, first off, you probably have seen them because these are things that are in plain sight.
Okay.
You're just choosing not to talk to me about it. So I'm reaching out to you.
Wow. All right.
Obviously the first thing with, I'm kind of a sports guy. You are as well. We talk about that a lot, but this whole NCAA thing going on with players or students able to be paid or sponsored by companies. And, previously it was assumed that they were being paid under the table, and in
some cases it wasn't just assumed; it was happening. Chris Webber and other players were making substantial amount of money.
And I was going to get around. Reggie Bush has been something that's been in the talks for the past week, 2 weeks. People think he should be reinstated with his Heisman because, as far as you and I know, if we were to look it up on paper, he really never existed in the college football world.
Yeah. And
I mean, on my own list of college football players, I would say he's probably the top that I've, most electric player I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I mean, I feel like he should get his Heisman back, but also just the whole NCAA, 1201 struck when the Supreme Court ruled that players could be paid on their likeness.
Yeah. Which to me makes total sense.
Yeah, and people were immediately taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of strange though, like the rules were before, not only could you not get, use your money or use your likeness to make any money, but you couldn't even get a second job anywhere. Like players that were working selling cars or whatever the case was, they couldn't even do that. And so I think that's a little bit ridiculous that you couldn't get any kind of outside opportunity. You couldn't sell your autograph to make money. I think that's a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, I was at a Thunder game, and they have a halftime shot where you get $20,000 if you make it. I remember somebody making that shot, and they were a student athlete
And they
at a
couldn't take
small
it.
school in Kansas, couldn't take the money.
I
And
would
you're
have dropped
just,
out, took the money and dropped out.
I drop out. Yeah, I drop out.
I take the money, drop out, and then, I don't know, get back in school another time, I guess. But no, I just think those kind of things. And then I think when players can't make money off their own likeness, then you open the door for more illegal activity, like coaches paying players bills and such. And when you're a player like LeBron James, who I remember one of the biggest controversies when I was in school, he graduated in 03, I graduated in 04. And I remember him about to graduate, and his mom went and bought him a Hummer. And not only did she buy him a Hummer, he also signed a big contract. I think it was with Nike or some other things, or he was signing balls or whatever. And it was real controversial. It made him immediately ineligible for to play college athletics. But we knew he wasn't going to play anyway, so it wasn't a big deal to him. He was going to go to the NBA. And so now that this rule that you have to have 1 year of college or you have to be a certain age to go in the NBA has come to pass, I think it really opens the door for more corrupt behavior in the college system, more coaches doing things that they shouldn't do or bribing players or whatever the case, boosters paying players under the table. And I think that can really be lessened. I'm not saying that's going to totally go away, but if players can actually make money off their likeness, signing autographs, I don't know how you would do any kind of split. Maybe at the bigger schools you could when it comes to the revenue that's generated through ticket sales and things like that. But they ought to at least be able to make money off their likeness at the very least.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see a lot of disparity top to bottom, especially when you're talking about a sports team with a huge roster.
Yeah.
You're going to have perhaps the guy at the bottom of the totem pole showing up in his girlfriend's dropping him off to practice, but your star player's driving a Lamborghini to practice. So it'll be interesting.
But that's you have that kind of disparity already. Maybe not as much in college sports, because you have a lot of athletes that come from lower economic backgrounds. But if there is a player that comes from a higher socioeconomic background, that his parents bought him a Lexus or whatever the case is, a nice car, and maybe the star player on the team doesn't have one. I mean, to me, you're going to have disparages, anyway. That's a part of society. When I was 18, I didn't drive the same cars a lot of people else that were 18. Some people drove far nicer cars than me. And so you're going to have that regardless. But I think if players, again, are able to at least make money off their own likeness, I think some college basketball purists would say, they shouldn't be paid. Well, all right, if you take that away, maybe they shouldn't be paid, which they are getting per diems and things like that anyway. They get money, so let's not pretend they don't. Scholarships and stuff sometimes are worth a lot of money as well. But if they're able to make money, and especially with these players that parents are struggling, maybe they come from impoverished communities, whatever the case is, a lot of them are finding out ways to make an income now. And I think it's going to hurt college basketball, because some players, NBA specifically, they're going overseas so they can skip that rule. At least that's what LaMelo, isn't that what he did?
Yeah, LaMelo, he went to, I don't even know where it was.
Yeah.
Latvia or something like that.
Other players are doing that too.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the creativity. You'll see new positions with schools, probably people that help them manage their money, read contracts, things like that. And also on the product side of things, I just the creativity there. I think it'd be hilarious if everybody at Florida is wearing Crocs to games. So
you're talking about,
you'll see a lot of that.
You're talking about those players being able to get sponsorship deals in college.
Right. Yeah. The Florida Gators, they're wearing Crocs. Just funny to me. So more of that.
Oh, I got it. Oh man, I'm sorry. I almost missed that.
Yeah. So
hold on just a second.
Stuff like
I almost missed it. Hold
like
on. Oh yeah. Yeah. Hey, that was good. Okay.
Can I borrow that laugh track? I tell jokes in my house a lot. My wife just stares at me.
Yeah. Well, you need one of those. I know that means. All right. What else you got, man?
Hey, Brittany,
Brittany,
can I
man.
hit you, baby, one more time here?
Okay, have you heard my story about Britney Spears? I met Britney Spears.
I have not.
You haven't heard this story, seriously? So when we lived in LA several years ago, I mean it's 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 5 years ago now, and we had just left church, and me and Marion were like, "Where are we going to go to eat?" And so we went to that burger place.
Burger joint.
No, the place with the fries. I mean they got the unlimited fries now. It's the burger
The
place,
little one? In
huh?
and out? In and out?
Not In and Out. It's there's one in Norman. Anyway, it'll come to me in just a second. We went to a burger place, and Red Robin. We went to Red Robin, okay, and we were in Thousand Oaks, California, which is kind of a ritzy. It's a really nice part of Cali, and so we're at Red Robin, and me and Marion are sitting there, and we're eating, and then this lady walks in with kind of a soccer mom outfit on, with two boys coming in front of her, and then a guy behind her, and I'm
That
like,
sounds like Brittany.
well, yeah, I look and I can't really see. And I look at Marion and I go, is that Britney Spears? And she looks at me and she goes, I don't know, because she sat right behind me facing the other direction. And I said, you got to find out. So she tells me, Google the kids and I'll tell you if these are the kids. And so I'm trying to Google, and my daughter is on the table. Eden's on the table, and Eden makes little baby noises. She's about 4 months old, 5 months. And then she makes a noise, and every time she would make a little noise, Britney Spears would turn around, and she'd look at her, and she'd smile. And so I kept seeing Marion smiling at Britney, and I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, is it her? So I go, I'm going to get up and act like I'm going to leave. So I stand up, get my stuff, and I do a quick turnaround. I look, take a good glance, and she says, beautiful baby. That's a beautiful baby. And I go, are you who I think you are? And she says, yeah. And she goes, can I hold her? About Eden.
No.
Yeah, she goes, can I hold her? And I'm like, Brittany, you can hold me. So of course we give her Eden, and she's holding Eden, and she's super nice. And I asked her, I said, hey, nobody's going to believe I met you. Can I take a picture with you? And she says, I just can't. I can't do it. So she didn't let me take a picture, which is fine. I respect her because she was off. I mean, she didn't look like music video Britney Spears. She looked like I'm taking my kids to Red Robin, Britney Spears.
Yeah.
So she didn't want to
Thundering
get a
Tower and
picture.
everything.
And I get that. Like, I take a picture of her, TMZ, they'll be at the restaurant. I mean, she was just like, she's very, very nice. She sat up and talked to us for a long time. Like, we showed her videos of our kids, and she it was so funny. She even smelled the baby. She goes, oh, she smells like a baby. I'm like, yeah, Brittany, that's how babies smell. And her kids were so sweet. They were so nice to us. Oh, Mama, look at that. They were really sweet. This is one of the funny things. Then she gets a phone call. Okay, Britney Spears gets up, goes to the bathroom or the back. She just leaves her boys there. The security or whomever he was that came with her followed her to the bathroom. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I guess I got to watch Britney's kids. So I just stayed there with our boys, and we talked for a minute, and they were like, yeah, I'm the quarter. I mean, they were super sweet boys, and it was super sweet. They were well behaved. They were so nice to us. She was, and of course, very sweet to us. And I never was a Britney. I mean, I know Britney Spears, but Britney got a fan out of me for life that day because she was so sweet to us and sweet to our baby. And one more thing before you get to the Britney deal. Britney Spears is jacked, okay? Like, muscular. I was like, when she came around the corner, I thought, who is this bodybuilder? I mean, that woman is jacked. So anyway, that's what I remember. I remember her being jacked. I remember her being super nice. And I remember her boys being super sweet too. All right. So Brittany.
Yeah, man. That's the thing. You said she walked away with a phone call. It was probably her dad.
It might have been.
You caught her sneaking out. But man, that's just how does a judge rule that she's under the provision or supervision of her father for life when she was just struggling for a stint in mid 2000s? That's messed up.
I think one is you got to remember it's in California. One, it's high